Have you ever wondered what really separates the great performers from the ones who are just good? Well, it's not just talent, it's a blueprint, a design for how to think, how to act, and how to react when the pressure is on. In this explainer, we're going to break down that very blueprint using principles pulled straight from elite coaching sessions. Ready to build your own? All right, let's dive in. This quote right here, it nails a fundamental truth for anyone trying to perform at a high level. Perfection is a total illusion. The real battle isn't about trying to avoid mistakes, because, let's be honest, mistakes are guaranteed to happen. The game is really won or lost in how you master your response to them. And that's the big idea we're digging into, that your toughest opponent is rarely the person across from you. It's the chaos you've got to manage inside your own head. So, how do we actually learn to embrace this chaos? Well, true mental toughness isn't about having a perfect forehand or a flawless jump shot. It's about building this unshakable confidence, not just in your skills, but in your ability to handle any storm that comes your way. It's knowing that when things inevitably go wrong, you have a plan to make them right. And what are we really talking about when we say chaos? It's way more than just a bad call from the ref. Really, it's any disruption, internal or external, that throws you off your game. You know, a slump in form, some friction with a teammate, or even just the simple weight of expectation. Since you can never totally prevent it, the secret isn't trying to avoid it. The secret is building a system to manage it. And that brings us to our first real game-changing tool, the formula for adversity. Think of this as your playbook for turning that panicked emotional reaction into a powerful structured response. It's your compass for those moments when you feel completely lost. Let's break this down. First up, acknowledge and accept. You just can't fix a problem if you're pretending it doesn't exist. Step 2, decide. This is a conscious choice to be resilient. You literally tell yourself, I can handle this. Third, look inward. Before you do anything else, you ask, what can I control right now? Fourth, if you're still feeling stuck, then you seek help, but only after you've looked at your own options first. And finally, the most critical step, act. You've got to take control and drive the solution. So what powers this whole formula when every part of you is screaming to just give up? Courage. And let's be really clear here. This isn't about being fearless. It's about taking that next step even when you're terrified. It's the active decision to believe you can overcome, no matter what the odds are. Courage, you see, is the engine of resilience. So we have a formula for reacting, but the truly elite mindset, well, it's fundamentally proactive. It's not just about weathering storms, it's about designing a ship that's built to navigate them from the very start. It's about consciously designing the performer you want to become. So let's explore how to do that. These 6 habits, they were identified in a 20-year study of high achievers. So they're the real deal. They're the core building blocks. You need absolute clarity on your vision and the energy to chase it. You need a daily sense of urgency to get the work done. You have to constantly improve your focus and your work rate, possess that courage we just talked about, and finally, have the influence to build a powerful support system around you. Okay, let's make this real with a tennis example. Elite performance is by design, not by chance. Here, the core itself represents 2 completely different mindsets. The worker side is all about patient, high-percentage discipline play. But the risk side, that's for applying pressure and taking smart, calculated chances. A top player knows exactly which mode they need to be in and when to switch. It's a conscious, strategic choice, and they make it hundreds of times in a single match. But here's the thing. Even the most brilliant design can fall apart in the heat of the moment. The real test of your blueprint is that internal battle. You know, the one that rages between your ears when the pressure is really on? So how do you win that fight? This is the sound of a downward spiral. Your mind isn't focused on the present moment anymore. It's just a chaotic mess of past failures, future fears, and self-doubt. And this mental noise doesn't just distract you, it's actively draining your energy and sabotaging your performance. So what's the solution? One word. One simple, controllable action. The discipline is to consciously silence all that internal noise and bring your entire focus back to a single, tangible task. In this case, feet. Get your feet in the right position. That's it. This is the mental fight in its purest form, redirecting your focus from the storm of uncontrollable thoughts to the one small thing you can control. And here's exactly why that fight matters so much. This chart shows what happens on a bad day, when you just don't have your best stuff. For an amateur, performance just plummets. But an elite performer, by using that mental discipline, they maintain a much higher baseline. They don't let a bad day turn into a disaster. And that 30% gap,
That's the difference between victory and defeat.
This is how you turn that mental fight into a reliable habit. You build a reset routine. It starts with a physical trigger, like walking to your towel, for example. That signals the reset. Next, you take a breath to physically break the emotional momentum. Then you state your single focus word, feet. Then you turn around, ready to go. The past is gone. This little routine is what prevents one mistake from snowballing into a total collapse. As we bring all this together, it is absolutely crucial to remember this. An elite mindset isn't some trophy you win or a destination you finally arrive at. It's a dynamic, ongoing process of fighting these battles, learning, adapting, and constantly refining your own personal performance blueprint.
And this quote just says it all. Elite performance is a choice. You have to take ownership. You have to actively decide and design the performer you want to be in those toughest moments. And then you have to put in the work, day in and day out, to become that person.
So, we'll leave you with that thought. Because whether you're on a court, in an office, or facing any other kind of challenge, these principles hold true. Performance is never an accident. It's a design. The only question left is, who are you designing yourself to be?